it's snowing back home. Yeah, so I'm enjoying myself here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Aya Elevates, a space for our intentional growth. And today's topic is travel, more specifically, Brazil, which is where I am right now. When am I coming back home? Who's to say? I love it here. I'm going to talk about preparations for my flight here and what I did to prepare for the trip altogether, and my experience in Sao Paulo and now in Rio, and the differences, I guess, that I noticed in between the two cities here, and some of the excursions I did and things I noticed, just my personal experience, and then a little bit of, I guess, general advice for whoever may need it if you're traveling to Brazil. So let's get started. Let's begin with big picture preparation for this trip. Number one would be your e visa. Make sure you get that done way in advance. For me, specifically, it took a while for them to approve it. It also took them a while for them to communicate that it wasn't my image, my picture was not meeting their standard. So I would say get it done as soon as possible, way before your trip, get the approval. So all you have to worry about is what to pack for this trip. And speaking of what to pack, I suggest a lot of cute but casual. A lot of people here are not super dressed up, even at like the high end restaurants. For example, we went to a steakhouse and it's considered pretty high end. And a lot of people were not dressed up. I saw a lot of casual outfits, um, mostly the men, but still, even the women weren't as dressed up. I felt like we were the most dressed up in that restaurant. So cute but casual, like what I'm wearing right now, would be perfect for any elevated experience that you may have here. Again, specifically in Rio, I feel like Sao Paulo has a bit more intentional fashion, and you would see a lot more of like business casual, like matching sets and more heels. In Rio, it's very beachy vibe, so you wouldn't see too much of that here. Also, for preparation, if you're like me, I suggest braids. And that is because of the humidity, especially in Rio. Rio is a lot more humid than Sao Paulo was. It could be the time of year, so obviously it could fluctuate. But from my experience, Sao Paulo was not as humid. Rio, I don't even know why I have edge control on my edges right now. I'm gonna step outside in a little bit and it's just gonna lift up. It's gonna get back to being curly. So yeah, but I do suggest braids. You have less to worry about when it comes to styling your hair to get ready for the day. Um, the hair that I have in my hair is the free tress hair, and I don't remember which specific like texture it was, but it's in the number two. I have like four packs in here. I kind of did like a mixture of the miracle knot method, which is like when you braid your own hair and then finish the braid with the extension. And that's what most of my hair is. And then towards the front, I did the traditional method of like braiding with the braiding hair, taking some pieces out and layering the curly hair so it could just be like have more volume in the front. And it took me all day. I did my braids 3 days before my flight and I packed 2 days before my flight. So, yeah. As far as, again, packing, going back to that, bathing suits, I would bring so many. I would bring a lot of bathing suits if you're going to be at the beach a lot. It's just so, like, everyone is so cute with their bathing suits here. Like, having a typical one, you'd be like, let me go get a cuter one. Which brings me to the fact that things here are really affordable. So if you forget anything, clothing wise, I would say, then you'll be fine. You can probably afford the clothes here. I forgot what the currency is called here. I know it starts with an R, but for every like $1 American is 5 Reyes. I forgot the name, but that means if your bill is 100, then it's $20 American. And things around here are not too expensive. I do suggest not to buy like the bathing suits that are being sold on the beach, unless you're just like desperate, last minute, you're there, let me just buy a bathing suit to wear. Because I bought a couple and all I did was hand wash two, and both of them have a red stain, like red, pink, like brassy stain across them. Don't know where that came from, but I suggest not buying that for, using it outside of this specific trip. Um, I would also say prepare by having your Uber app ready. I don't know if they use Lyft here. All we've been using is Uber, and all we've been using specifically is Uber Black. Um, a lot of people say it's like for safety reasons. My friend didn't use Uber Black at all, and everything was fine. I mean, you really never know, I guess, when you're in a different country. Maybe your sense of security heightens up. But Comfort or Black, it was fine regardless. For example, let's say you land in Rio GIG airport. Uber has its own like huge sign when you go to the exit, and you walk to the left of it for a bit, and you have these color zones like green, blue, and I think yellow, and that's where you catch your Ubers. So if you land at GIG airport, use an Uber. Taxis are a bit competitive there, so they're going to try to get your business. If you're taking an Uber, they will try to match the price and take you. So it's up to you. It's up to your discretion how you want to approach that. Another way to prepare for this and what to pack is your chargers, because their outlet is different here. So let me show you an example. So this is the one you're gonna need. Don't ask me the name, just look at it. Um, my friend has the one that has multiple, so I suggest buying that if you travel a lot. But this is what their outlets take. So if you just have like the one in America, let's say you're even now, as I'm charging my laptop, I bought or my friend bought this here, and it's been sitting on the charger for like 30 minutes, and it has not been charging that much. So I just suggest buying one from America or wherever you're from, if it's better before coming out here, because now I'm a little concerned for battery life of my device. Mentally prepare yourself. The driving here, if you're not accustomed to driving like in Africa or I don't know, other countries, right, outside of the Western civilizations that you're accustomed to, the driving could seem a bit insane to you. Red lights are merely suggestions. Police officers would be watching my Uber go like 80 miles an hour, cutting people in traffic like a bit intensely, and nothing's gonna happen. So if you're not used to it, just mentally prepare yourself. The driving might be a bit intense. Seatbelts on, please, and just enjoy the ride. A lot of the information that I'm providing right now so far has been based on Rio. So Sao Paulo, I feel like the preparation for both would be essentially the same, but now I'm gonna kind of get into specifics. Sao Paulo and Rio. Besides the fashion being different for us specifically, the food was on almost opposite sides of the spectrum. Sao Paulo, we essentially ate because we know we have to eat, but it just our experience was not good. It's either lacking huge in flavor or things were not cooked well. We bought 3 burgers and trashed all of them, and even like the french fries. It's certain places maybe, right? But out of a group, the group that I went to, the fact that not everyone had one good experience in Sao Paulo kind of suggests that maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it is more, it occurs more often than not. That's the experience that we have. But when we came to Rio, it wasn't like, extravagant, but the food had so much flavor. It tasted great. There were still like little mishaps. Like for example, I received a raw salmon. Like that joint was swimming on my plate, but they, cooked it again. They were very kind here. So just let them know, cooked it again. And one of the folks in the group did, I think it was food poisoning. They were, you know, throwing up after eating a sandwich with meat and cheese on it and stuff like that. So I think it's just, you can't really ever know exactly what food will make your digestive system uncomfortable. Um, so it is a risk every time you travel when you eat something that you're not accustomed to. So just keep that in mind. The day of your flight leaving Brazil, I suggest eating like fresh fruits and things that are likely not to bother your stomach, or something that you've had that did not bother your stomach, because I think feeling sick right before your flight, it's just going to be such a bad experience flying back home and going back and forth in that airport bathroom. Nobody wants to do that. So that is a huge advice that I have to give to people. Just be very like, especially if, again, it depends on your digestive system, right? But if it's very sensitive, please take my advice and just eat the right thing. Don't eat anything new the night before your flight or the day of your flight. It's not worth the risk. Learn a bit of Portuguese. A lot of people don't speak English. People that work at the airport did. Some folks at restaurants, like let's say like one or two from most of the restaurant, the people that are like serving you or cleaning up or cooking. It's just like a very small number of people that know English out of the group that you'll be surrounded by. Um, None of my Uber drivers knew how to speak English. Um, our servers knew specific, English words based on the menu, but like conversation wise, not that much. So you coming to this country should learn a bit of Portuguese out of respect, but also because you don't want to get lost. You want to know what you're doing. I highly suggest learning a little bit of Portuguese. Things like, my name is, so you can be respectful and introduce yourself. Things like thank you and please. I mean, certain things have a lot of common words with Spanish. So like please is por favor here as well. So just do a little research. Another thing for preparation, I am jumping all over the place. Bear with me. Money. They use credit cards here literally everywhere. I have not ran into a place, whether it's like a stand on the street or the stuff around the beaches, that doesn't take credit card credito. So I suggest not stressing about bringing cash. If you do convert your cash, your whatever your currency is, to the one that Brazil takes, I think the locals would appreciate it more. um because there's no like fee that they have taken away from whatever that you're purchasing, so they get a little bit, more money. So I suggest that, um converting your cash. Friendly suggestion, but not a must, I guess. Speaking of cash, you will run into a lot of people at the beach. You will run into a lot of people asking you for money, asking you to buy stuff. So, our experience is we get to the beach, we lay down, we're enjoying ourselves, and you'll have someone trying to sell food. Common. You'll have someone trying to give massages. You'll have someone trying to sell clothing. You'll have someone trying to sell candy. You'll have kids coming up to you trying to sell candy and things like that. Please do what is morally right for you, because I don't know, I always feel like I want to give, I have to give, right? But just be aware that if you do give to one, they can kind of see that what's happening, and some more people are going to end up asking you. So if you want to give, but if you're just trying to chill for a little bit, I say chill out on the beach, and towards the end of your beach stay, then you should give, because then you won't really be bombarded the whole time. You're just laying back trying to like enjoy the sun and the ocean and stuff, because you are on vacation, right? Even walking the streets, I mean, it's so obvious that we're tourists. So people will ask you for money and food and stuff like that. Give if you can. If you don't want to or can't, then just stand your ground. I guess that's another reason to learn Portuguese, so you can properly just say, no, thank you, not right now, I don't have it. You will see like some dogs that kind of just linger around. So if you're scared of dogs, but they're not aggressive really, they just walk around. My experience from being here and in El Salvador, El Salvador had so many stray dogs, so many. And compared to El Salvador, here is like nothing. It's like two for every like 20 we ran into in El Salvador. So if you're scared of dogs, don't be too afraid or skeptical about the dogs. They're all minding their business. So don't worry about it too much. Things are in Rio again, things are kind of far apart. They're probably like 30 minutes apart. Um, so depending on where you're staying, I guess. Well, not really, because even if you're staying where the excursions are, if you want to grab food from like spicy fish, you might have to go a long way. Things are kind of far apart, so just be prepared to call a lot of Ubers. In my opinion, it makes it convenient. It also does randomly rain here. Again, it could be the season. So calling Ubers is just better than walking everywhere if you don't want to get rained on. I didn't mind that as much. The food here does take a while to get served. So once you place your order, just keep in mind that you're probably going to be waiting for a bit. It was the same in Sao Paulo and Rio from my experience. So if you're really, really hungry, you have to wait. Carry some snacks with you in your purse if you're going to be doing a lot of excursions. Um, Especially if you didn't do your research on restaurants and you know you're going to like stop somewhere and look at the reviews and instead of doing all that, have some snacks in your bag. But if you did your research on restaurants, you know exactly where you're going to go after this excursion, and I'm going to walk from here to here, and then you should be fine. Just go to the restaurant, order, and then enjoy your meal. Take a samba class, please. It was such a great experience. And I would suggest taking the samba class before you go to these different events that they have at night. So they have like nights where they're playing live music, like on Tuesday nights, or if you go to Black Rio, Black Rio. I think that was Friday night. It was just so fun. It was on my piano night. It was on my piano night and it was fun. But take these dance lessons and have fun when you go out because people love to dance. People love the music. You could see the passion in their face. So I highly suggest taking a samba class for sure. Brazil, all parts. Like I've been everywhere. Sao Paulo and Rio, they're very big on sweets. Like I've had the best sweets here. The best cookie I've ever had in my life was in Sao Paulo. Chef's kiss. But their desserts, literally all around, amazing. Oh my god! If you have a sweet tooth, this is heaven. I'm not really big on it, but it's such a great experience. Dessert, 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 dessert. I don't know how everybody's not fat. Everybody here looks good. The sweets are it. Goodness gracious. Yes, you hear a lot about your phone might get stolen, this and that might happen, and it's true. It's true everywhere. But from my experience so far, everyone is kind, everyone's minding their business for the most part. I wouldn't suggest just being like flinging all like your expensive stuff out, obviously. But the way that I mentally was kind of like prepared to kind of stress the safety of like my stuff and from the stuff that I watched online and then the experience that I have coming here are completely different. So um again, you should be concerned about your safety everywhere you go, and it's no different here, but it's not to the extreme and that um that's the impression I got from watching some videos before I came here. So keep that in mind. Thank you for listening. I will be here a bit longer. I am absolutely ecstatic at my experience so far, and I'm very happy to be here. This is a beautiful place, beautiful people, great culture, amazing, amazing place to vacation and to learn and to visit. So, if you do want to take a trip sometime this year, next year, I highly suggest Rio. If you have any questions, comment below. I will gladly answer them and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching and talk to you next time.